How would you, to use your, I hope I've just remembered this correctly, to use your own words, how would you describe the people within the music industry?
I think the music industry is incredibly diverse. I think that there is the maybe one of the reasons for that is because it is such a way to be an outlet for all sorts of personal journeys, and everyone's got a story to tell. And if you've, you know, got the muse inside you, it's a great place to be. I think that there's a lot of different levels and sort of business things wrapped up in politics in some areas. I mean, we've got the record labels and the big label artists, and then we've got the record label artists that are, fighting with the other label artists to get attention. And I've heard, horror stories of people that think they're all done and all set because they got signed to a label, and then they just never their works never see the light of day, and they lose all this control. So there's a lot of different sides of it. And then of course there's the independent artist community, the indie labels, the smaller labels, but then artists that are also 100% independent like myself, and just doing the hustle and networking and taking small opportunities and trying to make them into bigger ones.
What is it like to be 100% indie if all the big labels are fighting amongst themselves for other artists? Because you reminded me of a story or something I heard about Taylor Swift, where she's having to redo all her old songs purely because her record label company own all the rights.
Right.
And
So they owned her masters. And so she said, well, and the master is just the recording, it's not the composition. So she's like, I'll take my compositions and then I'll go re record them, thus creating new masters. And then she can release. So when you see Taylor's version, that basically means it's her ownership. And so we're paying her versus paying a record label who would then pay her like a tiny percentage. Um, and she's got the power now to do that and to shut big things down, which is incredible. And she started that a couple of years ago for sure. And I think it's a great move. And I think it's a move that a lot of people that feel stuck in labels could and maybe even should do. But again, the cost of recording, and you want to record a whole album that you already recorded that you're super happy with and that you love, just to be able to release it, there is a cost, so
what is that cost?
depends on what the music is and who they need to hire and how much studio time they need, and if like the arrangement with musicians that they're playing with, and engineers and master engineers, and all of these people get paid, and producers and whatnot. And then there's just sending it out, the distributing. If your fan base loves CDs or records, then you're going to be spending money up front to print those so that you can sell them later. So there's a whole slew of different costs that can come into that.